all. Hope everyone's well. I'm not sure how many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have an interest in street epistemology. It's a fairly new technique of discussion, I suppose. It's a set of non-confrontational, conversational techniques for discussing strongly held beliefs, or a strongly held belief in particular. Any sort of belief, whatever it may be. It may be maybe that you believe ghosts are real, or that you believe that God is real. It was started in 2013 by atheist Peter Boghossian, and has since gained quite a bit of interest on different platforms, in particular YouTube. And there's plenty of videos of people using these techniques, these conversational techniques, to promote open-mindedness and thoughtful reflection in a participant regarding the belief. And there are quite a few people practicing this technique in public and recording their usually short interviews with people, you know, asking the participant to come up with a subject which they feel strongly about, they hold a strong belief about, and then the epistemology is more or less about finding out how they test their conclusion. What I'll do is I'll just show you an example of how one of these street epistemologists go about it. The guy that I've been watching in particular that does it's been doing it for 5 years, and I would say that he's really honed his skills at it, and I really enjoy watching him. Who his name is Anthony Magnabosco, and he often talks to people casually for 4 or 5 minutes in campuses and or other different environments as well. Like he does a hiking trail where he asks people if they just want to have a quick chat. So anyway, no need for me to talk about it. Best you get these examples of it, and after you see these examples, there's he was on Matt Delahunty's show, The Atheist Experience, a while back, and as a guest, Anthony Magnabosco, and a Jehovah's Witness happened to call in who's really concerned that her mother is in her latter years, her twilight years. I've got to be careful about twilight years, but I do believe she's in her like later years, 80s, something like that, but she's still a practicing Jehovah's Witness. And this lady is struggling as to what to do with her mum. How should she approach her and let her know, before she dies, that what she's believed in is right or wrong. And it's really quite interesting. I know how I would handle that, I think, but not everyone's the same. I mean, my dad's 81, and if I was to ever contact him again, or he was to contact me, I should say, there's no way in the world I would attempt to even change it. It would all just be about, Dad, what can we do for your last days? Wouldn't say it like that, of course, but mate, what is really? It's kind of pointless for me anyway. This is my opinion. But it was quite an interesting phone call, and the lady seemed pretty distraught. And the good thing was that Anthony Magnabosco recommended highly ex-Jehovah's Witness communities. And this whole street epistemology thing, it's called street epistemology not because it's done on the streets. That's not the reason. It's just a more casual way of epistemology. You can do it in a room, you can do it, it's usually one-on-one though, and it's casual, so that's where the street part of it comes from. So without further ado, watch this. Hope you enjoy it.
Can a person be 100% sure that that book is a source of truth without any testing whatsoever?
No. You need to be like an opinion then, an uneducated opinion.
It would be an uneducated... Yes, this Book of Mormon, or any other holy book for that matter, possibly, would be an opinion if the person didn't have the ability to adequately test the claim.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do that with any book. Your Magic Treehouse. This is the best book ever. What's inside of it? I don't know. Way cool picture on the front of it, though.
Great stories.
That's why it's the
Make
best
me
book.
feel good when I read it.
Yeah.
Huh. I think I just saw AZ walk by.
Hi, nice seeing you. You should go register. Texas Rising.
Absolutely.
Vote over there.
100%.
We've had a conversation before.
We did?
Yeah, about, I was talking about, like,
Was it recent?
no, it was probably, like, last semester, but, what was it about? It was the law of attraction. Like
Oh.
vision boards.
Oh, vision boards, law of attraction?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is it possible that the souls and reincarnation and even the God, in the slightest possibility, could not be true?
I mean, anything could be true. Some people believe that, but I don't believe that. I mean, it could be wrong. That's what I'm saying. You don't know. But I feel very strongly in my heart of hearts that what I believe is true. You know, having science degrees and everything else, it's you know, there's always a chance that you're wrong. You know?
Is there a chance that you're mistaken on the God belief?
I don't think so.
Is it possible?
I don't think so. I think there's something beyond. I truly, truly feel that way.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
That was really enjoyable.
I guess it's not 99 or 100%, but you know, I guess there's always a short, you know, 0.0005 chance, but it's interesting.
Are you saying right now here at the end of the talk that 100% confidence is not the most representative spot on the confidence of your belief?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because now I'm thinking back to where you said, you know, you believe 100%, and then you, at the end of the conversation, you don't believe. I guess, you know, I think you're right. I guess there's always a small chance that, you know, there's nothing. But I don't want to believe that. Does that make any sense?
May I ask why you don't want to believe it?
Because it's a sad thought for me. It just makes me sad. It makes me sad for me, it makes me sad for my children, that there's nothing that I want to believe that my soul, my energy, what animates me, what makes me who I am is going to go on in some way. You know, I truly believe like the whole thing that energy is not created or is not, you know, created, or I can't remember exactly what the word is.
It's
but
neither,
it just goes
neither
on.
created nor destroyed
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something. Yeah.
But you go on. Somehow that life force goes on. I want to believe that for me. I want to believe that for my children.
Do the things we want to believe always mean that the belief is true?
No. No, like I said, there's maybe a small chance that that's not the case, but I think me not wanting to believe that, I just dismiss that.
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Dismiss the possibility of that, small possibility of that.
You dismiss the small possibility that it might not be true?
Yeah, I don't think about it.
Can a person think they experience the Holy Spirit and be way off on it? Or is every experience that you think you're experiencing the Holy Spirit, are you justified in being sure that it was?
I take it as, I believe that all good thoughts come from God. So if you have a good thought that is enticing you to do good, it's probably a thought from God. Or your thoughts are at least being guided by His Spirit. And so let's say someone does get up there and they say something that's just like off the wall, nuts. Like sure, maybe they sound crazy and maybe their idea, what they were feeling was a little bit off. But if in their heart they feel like they have a stronger connection with Jesus Christ and they're trying to still make changes from that point on to becoming a better person, just who they are.
Okay.
all power to them.
Okay.
Not for me to be like, I don't know if that was a spirit or not. I mean, sure, I might think they're crazy, but
Yeah.
does that answer your question?
It does. No, I think I understand what you're saying. It sounds like what you're saying is that even it's so noisy today. I don't know why. It just got really noisy here. What I think I hear you saying is that if a person is falsely attributing an event to the Holy Spirit, as long as they got something of value from it, because it comes from God anyways, it's okay for them to be giving it a false attribution, because everything good comes from God, and this was a good thing that they think happened to them.
Yes, and because I also don't understand God. I don't know God, and I don't really know how His Spirit works. So I don't really know if someone really did feel the Spirit or not, even if I think that they sound crazy. I mean, if you read the Bible, there's a bunch of crazy stuff in the Bible. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Could either of you two be sure that you received a validation that is confirming to you that the Holy Spirit is real, and in reality it wasn't?
I mean, maybe.
I see it as a really good technique for those activists who do like to go and speak to the Jehovah's Witnesses on the carts. I mean, because of its generality, there's no real need to lie or even mention anything about you being a Jehovah's Witness in the past or knowing anything about their religion. It's just a way of engaging with them and asking them a few questions.
All right. So should we go ahead and take some calls?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I want to start with Rita online, too, because she was very nice and helped us with our phone testing. So, hi, Rita.
Hi.
This is Tracy and Anthony.
Hi.
Hello,
Hey.
Rita. Thanks for calling in and thanks for helping us test.
So what's on your mind today?
Well, I grew up in a half Jehovah's Witness home.
Okay.
Like, my mom was a Jehovah's Witness, became a Jehovah's Witness when I was little, and my dad was just a controlling and abusive asshole. So she was a Jehovah's Witness. They were our support network. She's really, they still are her support network. I grew up, moved out, discovered the world they'd been hiding from me, and got disfellowshipped.
Okay.
Can you explain what that means for people that might not know? Could you explain what that means for people?
Like excommunicated. She can't talk to me unless it's official family business. Like if somebody dies or if she's dying, she can let me know. But other than that, she doesn't talk to me.
Certainly.
She delayed the shunning right after I got this fellowship because I got in a bad car accident, and she felt like she needed to, be there for me. There were other times in the past where she kind of bucked against the system. Like, she stayed with my father because their whole read of they're literal fundamentalist Christians. They believe, there is no divorce unless there's adultery. So she stayed with him, and when I was a junior in high school, he cut the brakes on the car thinking she was going to take it to work, and I did. And that was the last straw. And she said, no, it doesn't matter.
Hold on a second.
I'm out.
Are you saying that...
I'm sorry.
What did you mean when you said they cut the brakes on the car?
I think she's saying that her
My dad
sabotaged the
my
car.
mom was taking the car to work, so he cut the brakes on it thinking she was going to be in it and get in an accident. And I took the car to school that day because there was something wrong with my car. And that was the last straw. She left him. So she's, shown some backbone in the past, I guess is my point.
Okay. So what is your question today then, Rita?
I guess my question is, she's so deep in it, this point. And, like, about 8 years ago, the shunning has gotten worse. Like, she really doesn't talk to me anymore. She moved a few months ago. I don't even know where she's at now.
Okay.
So I don't get very many chances to talk to her. When I do, should I even try and change her beliefs? Because, you know, if I create a vacuum, what fills it? And if I do, how can I do it in a non-confrontational way that she won't take as an attack against her?
Well, this is your call, Anthony.
Well, yeah, I'm really glad that you called. Have you heard about street epistemology yet?
I just started checking you guys out maybe a couple of weeks ago. I joined the Facebook group and...
Excellent. Yeah, there's a Facebook group for people that want to learn street epistemology.
I just want to be clear. When you say you joined the Facebook group, are you talking about street epistemology or are you talking about this show?
Yes, I joined the street epistemology.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, I feel for your situation for sure. And if I understand right, your mother is still in this belief and you want to help her.
Yes.
Okay.
But at the same time, I feel like I question, am I helping her? Because if I take away these beliefs she has, like, this is her support system. These are her friends. These are her only friends at this point.
Yeah, and this is a big part of her identity, too, I would imagine. So
right.
You're asking very difficult questions, and I don't think that there's an easy answer. So, getting involved in, like, the street epistemology group is great, but perhaps even better might be there are ExJw groups. I hope you're a part of one of those. And I know that Recovering from Religion has, if I'm not mistaken, they have a support group forum specifically for ExJws. I hope that's the case. If not, Dr. Ray, I'm very sorry. But I'm pretty sure that they do. And I'm certain that there are ExJw Facebook groups that are out there. So I think if you're not already, aligning yourself with some of those communities to meet with people who have already gone through what you're going through, I think would be good. I'm sorry?
I said I've read some forums and things, but I've never joined any groups.
You can, some of the best suggestions, I think, for how to proceed could probably come from the people who have already gone through what you're going through.
I would agree with that. I definitely agree. I think if there are people who have, like he's saying, if they've addressed it in a way that it didn't work, they might be able to tell you, here's what I did that just blew up in my face, or here's what I did that went really well.
Right. Because she's not supposed to talk to me because I'm disfellowshipped, but if I make it blatant and obvious that I'm challenging her beliefs, then I get labeled as an apostate, which is like a step worse.
So my advice in these situations, Rita, is you don't have to always use SE. You can learn it and you can teach it. So one thing that I like to do in these delicate situations is try to teach the people in your life how to question beliefs. And it doesn't have to be about whether Jehovah is God. You can teach your mother how to use these questioning techniques for any claim that she runs into. Some of the easier stuff, like one of my favorite examples is you always hear about how red cars get more speeding tickets than any other color car. Well, is that really true? Listen for when your mother makes some sort of claim or somebody else nearby makes a claim, and then you can start questioning that with the idea of teaching your mother how to use these tools so that she can question those things herself, and then ultimately start questioning this big one, the big God belief. And I wrote a blog post about this.
So there's not like one question that... See, the problem is if I do get a chance to talk to her, it will be somebody died and we're going to a funeral, or, there'll be an accident and it won't
I follow. You have limited interactions with your mom at this point.
Right.
What if you asked your mother if she'd be willing to talk to you about the things that keep you from being a JW, about your own personal concerns and doubts?
She would tell me that she can't do that. She would have an elder call on me from the congregation.
I see. So she'd outsource it. Okay.
Right, because they don't want her questioning her beliefs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Boy, it's tough. You know, if they're building a wall between you two, then it really severely limits your ability to help.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, can you live with the possibility that this conversation may never happen and that you may remain estranged from your mother?
I think I kind of have to live with that at this.
I mean, that might be the case.
I feel like I should do something before it's too late. You know, I mean, she's getting up there. She's like 67 now. I mean, I can't really wait 20 years to do this. You know.
Yeah, I think here's the thing that I don't know how it's going to affect you, but a lot of people feel better when they consider that the onus to maintain a relationship when it comes to parents and children should be on the parents, not the children. When you produce another person and you take responsibility for that, and then you basically tell that other person, now you're responsible for maintaining and initiating and keeping up this relationship, I see that as grossly unfair. I think that if a parent can't hold up their side of that relationship, the child should at the very least not feel guilty about the lack of a relationship. I mean, it's one thing if a child wants to pursue it, that's completely up to them. But I've seen too many people who struggle to maintain a relationship with a parent who is either continually somehow mentally abusive to that person, or that they simply do not show a lot of interest in that person or their life or their family or what's going on with them. And these people, like I say, it's one thing to maintain the relationship, it's another thing to feel bad about it. Like what you're expressing, this idea that, well, what if, you don't want to wait till it's too late. If it doesn't happen before your mother should, pass away, then the reality is that was on her.
If I could just add one thing too.
That's true.
If I could just add one thing too, Rita, you might want to ask yourself if your mother's best intentions are in mind here, and if it would cause her stress to be engaging with her and trying to reach out to her and trying to change her or whatever, if that causes more harm, then maybe that's not the path that you want to go. So I would just...
And I guess that was my question in the first place. Should I ruin her belief system without... I don't know. I just feel
well,
bad.
I mean, her belief system is at odds
what
with a relationship with you, which makes it tough because you've got these competing interests. Right. You would like to have a relationship with your mother, and then at the same time, you don't want to do damage to her current beliefs, but they can't coexist. So you're looking for a way to eliminate the competing interest, and I understand that. It's certainly one route a person can go, but then you have to ask yourself, how realistic is this and how much time and resource do I want to put into this without knowing that this could actually ultimately be successful? It's a big investment.
This is tough because these are barriers that your mom is erecting, and she's erecting them because of the belief that she holds.
Sure.
And she has a right to believe in whatever she wants. She's making this choice, and you're just along for the ride. And I could definitely empathize with how frustrating that must be to just be, watching her drive towards this cliff that you think is there. And, this is her life.
And not even really knowing how fast she's going towards it, I mean, like, I have no idea what the Jehovah's Witnesses are teaching nowadays. I have no clue what they're...
Yeah, I don't think I could offer much more other than really check out the groups that are out there. Look for the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses groups.
I think that's the best advice we can give you, Rita.
Okay. Well, thank you for
I wish we had a magic bullet.
I wish we could offer you more than that, but I think that's going to be your best bet.
Again.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.